I'm here to give you a bit of an overview of data that we've been collecting on New Zealand Dotterel from the Auckland's west coast in the last few years. And this is a talk that I did for the New Zealand Dotterel Auckland Forum a few months ago. So I think some of you might have been present then. Yeah, sorry, you have to endure the same talk again. So we've got a data set of New Zealand Dotterel sightings from the last 3-4 years, and yeah, I was given this data set and told to analyze it and see what cool things we could find about. So just a small summary about the data set. It's data gathered from birds from 2018 onwards, and from a total pool of 15 birds. So that's 15 different flags that we landed on these birds, mostly from 4 banding locations around the coast. And yeah, the total size of the data set is 76 sightings. So it's not, it's not a big data set. It gives us an average of 5 sightings per bird, but the reality is very different, because I think there's one bird with 32 sightings, which is almost half of the size of the data set, and then one bird with only 1 sighting, which was probably from the day that bird was banded as a chick. So yeah, that's the data that we've got so far. And as I said, 4 different locations along the coast. Anavata, 3 birds, been 5 there so far, 2 birds at Bethel, 5 from Piha, and then 5 in Caricare, which I kind of merged with Fatipu. So that's a total of 15 birds. Yeah, so far we had only 1 single breeding pair at each of these locations, except Caricare and Fatipu. But looks like this year we might have more pairs breeding, because I think there is 1 new pair at Wigmore Bay, so that's near Bethel's, one of those small bays between Anafata and Bethel's. And there seems to be 3 pairs at Anafata, which is both surprising and fantastic. So we'll see how we go at the end of the season, I guess. Now, some of the insights that we've got so far from the data collected. As an example, this guy, CHJ, which was banded at Caricare in early 2018 as a chick. 9 sightings from this bird so far, the last one being in October 2020. And yeah, the first one that we got, obviously, Caricare, where the bird was born and banded as a chick, and then seen in Anafata later that year, already fully fledged juvenile, moving around the coast. Then Bethel's 1 year later, then Piha next year, 2020, and then on that year, more sightings at Bethel's, and then Piha again, and then Bethel's again. But then a week after the last sighting at Bethel's, this bird was seen at Whale Bay and Manukau Harbor, so that's quite a long way. These birds travel around the coast, so wouldn't cross the Waitaki ranges, just follow the coast. And
Jordi, you've got some feedback, and someone in chat has suggested that maybe it's Zoom being open on 2 tabs. Do you just want to check that quickly?
Okay. I have Zoom. I have 1 Zoom only. So I turn off my video, see if that makes it better.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Let's do it then. where were we? Yes, CHA. So yeah, seen at the at Wattle Bay, Manukau Harbor, just a week after being seen at Bethel's. Then we've got other birds like this one, CHR, which was originally landed at Piha as a chick in February 2019. Later that year was seen in the Kaipara, which is a known post-breeding flock for New Zealand Dotterel. And later in that year, it was seen in the Caricare, so the southern end of the Manukau Harbor. So that's quite a long way because it's a bird that comes from Piha, goes up at the Kaipara, then goes down to the Manukau. And now we know that this bird has come back to the West Coast, and I think it was already last season that was nesting. And in fact, I think they produced a chick at Tunnel Point in Caricare. So yeah, we've got quite a good picture of what this bird has been up to. And then we've got records of birds that have been seen all over Auckland. So CNU, a Piha bird, seen at Omaha, which is also a known post-breeding flock site, where these birds gather after the end of the breeding season. CNM and CNL from Piha and Anafata, they've been seen in Port Waikato. Birds that have been seen at Manukau again, and then birds that have been seen at East Auckland, for example, the North Shore or Whitford wetlands, and they've stayed there, and they found a mate there, and they are currently breeding there. So yeah, from this little data set that we've got, the conclusions are that these birds move quite a bit along the coast. Then there's a bit of a spillover to other regions of Auckland, because sometimes they just leave and they find a mate and they stay the East Coast. But some of them are obviously coming back and finding a mate and staying out west. But yeah, just because of the nature of the data, there is a small data set, and we've been just collecting and banding birds for the last 3-4 years. It's still early days, so we'll be able to wait a few more years and see if we can obtain some more information, and we can compare with studies that have been done on the East Coast, where the population is obviously larger. So yeah, thanks, and yeah, if you see some Dotterels with bands or flags, report them on the talk website, or email Adrian Regan, which is our main bander that you can see here in the picture. Thank you.